Alright, so it's been a while since I made a video, but I just got a new car. I got a 2004 AP2 S2000. Pretty stock, so I kind of want to document it along the way when I do some new stuff to it, just because in the past two cars I had a Evo 8 and a NB Miata. Did a bunch of stuff to it, but never really documented, as you could say, and I had nothing to kind of reflect back on besides photos. So I thought I'd give it another shot to do videos, kind of like what I did with the RSX back then. They're just very time consuming. You gotta record, you gotta edit the videos, set up the camera if you're doing like a long time lapse or something. But just want to give it a shot. Okay, so here it is, S2000. Like I said, pretty much stock. It just has a couple mods. Has some BC coils. It has hard motor mounts. A little too hard for my liking, but that's alright. Stock exhaust, high flow cat. I'll show you inside. It's pretty much stock looking. So we're gonna be doing the first mod to it, which is Renegade has a kit where it's just like a carbon fiber boot delete plate, and I ordered a titanium shift knob as well from Renegade, and I think it looked good. One of my buddies has that set up in his car, and his S2000. It looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm pretty much happy with the purchase so far. Drives like a dream. All right, so to do the boot delete and shift knob, I mean, shift knob is pretty easy to do. I already kind of messed around with it, but the first thing you do is remove the shift knob. Shift knob actually feels pretty good. Has some nice weight to it. It's a countersunk, and you can get like a trim removal tool and pry along the edges of this, and it should pop out. Depending on the positioning, you might have to put the handbrake down, just make sure the car doesn't roll to anything else, but this should just come right out. Alright, once you get the center console off, you'll see that there are two harnesses, one for the soft top and one for your hazards. I can't really see hazards, so these two, they just press in the clips and they pop out. We'll take this inside. There's some stuff we gotta do with this. Alright, so I'm gonna wing it without watching videos or guides, but it seems pretty self-explanatory. I know we need to use epoxy to have the carbon plate to stay in place, but first we gotta remove this boot. So let's see, we're probably gonna remove these two screws, and then there's some clips on the outer edges that I guess we could push through. Let me give it a shot first, and then we will see what happens. Yeah, so pretty much what I guess, just those two screws that go on those two like gears, and then these tabs just push in and it pops right out. So now we just got to remove the actual leather from the ring. We could probably put the ring back, and then we'll epoxy the carbon fiber plate back in. Alright, so it turns out it was probably a better idea to remove this first, along with the two switches for your soft top and for the hazards. So we took that out, and if we did that first, this ring would have been easier to remove. Alright, so it's actually easier than I thought. I don't think I have to use epoxy, because the plate kind of sandwiches between the actual center console and this ring, and it's in place. It's not moving around. If you look at the back, it's pretty sandwiched in. I think it looks pretty good. So now we just put it back into the car and put the shift knob and see how it looks. Alright, it's back in. Looks all good. So I believe AP1s is where you have to do a bunch of stuff behind with plastic welds and using epoxy to hold this in. But in the AP2, it seems pretty straightforward. Just keep in mind the screw that goes here and for here are different lengths. You don't want to put the longer one here, or else I feel like I might poke through the other side. So smaller screws go into those spots. And let's put it back in the car. Okay, so it's in. I'll be honest, I don't know how I really feel about it. I feel like if I have a different short shifter with a different looking shaft going here to the knob, it would look a little better, just because of other photos I've seen. They have I guess the Renegade short shifter, and it looks good with the Renegade knob. But for now, this would do. This part was white. I forget what short shifter this came with, but this collar over here was white, and I just put electrical tape on it just so it kind of blends in and doesn't have a huge contrast. But the Renegade shift knob feels kind of nice. It's lighter than the older shift knob I had. I do like the weighted shift knob feel, but I think this will do. Gotta get my money's worth, you know. But yeah, there's the install on the plate and the knob.